The 2026 FIFA World Cup is shaping up to be the biggest yet. With 48 teams, it's a whole new ballgame. More teams mean more matches, more drama, and more chances for a fairy tale story. But as always, a few giants stand out from the crowd. We've had a look at the early numbers, and while football is never simple, a picture is starting to form. These odds give us a baseline, a starting point for the great debate. They are not a crystal ball, of course. They are a reflection of current form, squad depth, and the potential we see today. Our model puts Spain at the top of the pile. They have an 18% chance to lift the trophy. Right on their heels is a formidable French side at 15%. Then you have the ever-present Brazil, with a solid 13% probability. England, with a generation of talent, sits at 10%, followed closely by the reigning champions, Argentina, at 9%. These five nations represent the clear top tier of contenders. They possess the star power, the tactical know-how, and the tournament experience that so often makes the difference on the world's biggest stage. Behind them, the field remains packed with quality. Germany is always a threat, and we give them a 6% chance. Portugal, with its own attacking flair, comes in at 5%. The Netherlands are just behind at 4%. Italy, Uruguay, both with a 3% shot at glory. Senegal, the United States, Japan, Morocco, each have a 2% chance. The final 6% is shared among all the other nations combined, each hoping to cause a massive upset. Winning the World Cup is a marathon, not a sprint. It's about navigating the treacherous path of the knockout rounds. Let's break down the chances for the top teams to reach each stage. These are rough estimates, of course, but they show how the pressure mounts with every passing game. Getting out of the group is one thing. Going all the way to the final is another beast entirely. The new format with 32 teams advancing from the groups means the big guns should, in theory, avoid an early exit. But football loves to surprise us. First, the round of 32. For the elite teams like Spain, France, Brazil, England, and Argentina, reaching this first knockout stage is almost an expectation. Their chances are very high, likely between 85 and 95%. Strong European sides like Germany, Portugal, the Netherlands, and Italy are in a similar boat. They will be heavily favored to win their groups or at least finish in the top two. An early exit for any of these nations would be a massive shock, but it's not impossible. Complacency is a killer in tournament football. The quarterfinals are where the tournament truly heats up. This is where the contenders start to separate from the pretenders. Spain, around 60 to 65% to reach the last 8. France, 55 to 60%. Brazil, 50 to 55%. England, 40 to 45%. Argentina, 35 to 40%. This is the stage where a tough draw can send a favorite packing. Reaching the semi-finals is the dream for every team. Here, the air gets very thin. Spain, around 30 to 35% to reach the last 4. France, 25 to 30%. Brazil, 20 to 25%. England, 10 to 15%. Argentina, 10 to 15%. For every other nation, chances of the semi-finals are in the single digits. This is where nerve, luck, and tactical genius come to the fore, often deciding a match on the finest of margins. Predicting a full knockout bracket this far out is a bit of fun, but it helps paint the picture of potential clashes. Based on probabilities, we can sketch a likely path to the final. Round of 32. Round of 16. Most heavyweights advance. Expect an upset or two with more teams in the mix. A spirited side from Africa, a well-drilled CONCACAF team, catching a European giant on an off day. By the quarterfinals, familiar faces remain. Spain, France, Brazil, England, Argentina, Germany, the Netherlands, perhaps Uruguay. This is a who's who of world football, promising titanic battles. Germany versus the Netherlands, electric. Brazil versus Uruguay, a classic South American derby. Every match feels like a final at this stage. Semi-finals could deliver two dream ties. Side 1, Spain's technical brilliance versus France's sheer power and depth. a tactical chess match of the highest order. Side 2, Brazil versus Argentina. The history, the rivalry, the passion, defining World Cup games, creating heroes, creating villains in 90 minutes, or perhaps more. To the final, Spain versus France in New Jersey. Two European powerhouses, each with a point to prove. In a tight, tense affair, I'm backing Spain to edge it. Spain's midfield control and ability to dictate tempo could decide it. For the third-place playoff, a match few players enjoy, I expect Brazil to overcome Argentina and secure bronze. The beauty of the World Cup is its global nature, bringing together styles and cultures from every continent. With the expansion to 48 teams, we'll see more nations get their chance to shine. From UEFA, expect the usual suspects: Spain, France, England, Germany, Portugal, the Netherlands, Italy, joined by strong sides like Belgium, Croatia, Switzerland, with fierce battles for the remaining spots. In South America, Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay, Colombia, then Ecuador, Paraguay, with Chile or Peru pushing late. Across Asia, Japan, South Korea, Iran, Australia, Saudi Arabia, rising Uzbekistan, Qatar, UAE, Iraq in the mix. From Africa, Morocco, Senegal, Egypt, Nigeria, Algeria, Ghana, Cameroon among contenders. In CONCACAF, hosts USA, Mexico, Canada, plus Costa Rica, Panama, watch Jamaica. Oceania, New Zealand likely. Every World Cup has a team that defies expectations. A dark horse that captures the imagination, goes on a run nobody saw coming. In 2026, several nations could do that. At the top of my list is Uruguay. They may only have a 3% chance in our model, but they have a champion's DNA. Federico Valverde, Darwin Núñez. Traditional defensive grit, organized, passionate, and they know exactly how to win knockout games. Another team to watch, Senegal, a powerhouse of African football, a squad full of Europe's top league players. Physical power, blistering pace, growing tactical discipline. They won the Africa Cup of Nations. With a favorable draw, they can go deep. No elite team wants them in a do-or-die knockout. Don't underestimate home advantage. The United States will have massive, passionate crowds that can provide a huge emotional lift. Young, athletic, gaining experience at top European clubs. Home energy could push them to the quarterfinals, maybe further. Organized, hard to break down, capable of a major upset. Finally, Switzerland, consistently underrated in Europe. Tactically flexible, incredibly well-drilled, with a knack for results in big tournaments. They've frustrated France and other big nations. They thrive on underdog status. Not superstar heavy, but a collective strength with tournament know-how, greater than the sum of their parts. Now, it is important to be sensible about all of this. These predictions are based on a model, and football has a wonderful habit of making a mockery of models. There are several key risks and uncertainties that could completely change the picture by the time the first ball is kicked in 2026. The most obvious one is injuries. Kylian Mbappe, Jude Bellingham, Vinicius Jr. Missing the tournament would be a massive blow to their nation's chances. The 2 years until the tournament are a long time. Player fitness will be crucial. Managerial changes can also have a huge impact. A new coach can transform a team's fortunes. A change in tactics, a new team spirit, a different way of managing key players. We will see several teams change their managers before 2026, and these decisions will play a significant role in who ultimately succeeds. The new 48-team format is the biggest unknown of all. With a new round of 32, the tournament is longer and more demanding. Will this lead to fatigue, more upsets later, or let favorites ease in against weaker opposition? It also gives more teams a shot at knockout football, where the magic happens. This expanded format is designed to create more drama, and it will almost certainly deliver unexpected results along the way. Ultimately, that is the beauty of the World Cup. While we can analyze the odds and predict the favorites, the tournament's true joy lies in its unpredictability. It's about the shocking upsets, the last-minute goals, the penalty shootout heroics, and the emergence of new stars. Spain may be the logical choice on paper today, but who will be the Morocco or Croatia of 2026? Which underdog will capture our hearts? All we can do now is wait, watch, and wonder.